Hello everyone, my name is Marian Andrei and today we're driving the Hyundai Kona EV version, EV2 version of it, because we have some slight difference at the interior especially. So this is how it looks like from the front. It's different from a standard Kona using a gasoline engine or diesel engine because we have this covered grille, which looks really nice with this pattern. It looks improvised because it is, so it doesn't have like a full covered front bumper like on Model 3 for instance, but it's cool with this design. Here we have the charging port, which is a CCS, and the maximum charging power of this car is 77 kilowatts power. The battery of this one has 64 kilowatt hour capacity and charges from 10% to 80% in 45 minutes. The range, Hyundai says it has 449 kilometers, but it can go much higher if you drive this car at city speeds in a city, but you should at least be able to do 350 kilometers with every charge. From the back, it's similar to a standard Kona, but we do have this difference here. It says electric and we don't have any exhaust pipes whatsoever. The boot space, it's not so big, disappointingly, but I do understand the battery takes a lot of space, and this is a car based on i20. It has the same platform, so yeah, it should be fine. This is how it looks like for rear passengers. I am 185 centimeters and I do fit in here, so there's some knee room, lots of headroom, and here we have a large Britax Romer child seat, which takes a lot of space because it has this turning base, but yeah, should be okay for city use. Let's take a look at the front of the car, at the driver's side, because here we have lots of differences to a standard Kona. We have this bridge here on top of the storage space. So on Ioniq we don't have this, we only have this. So this is a large cubby space, and we have a 12-volt socket here and a fast charging USB port there. We have two cup holders here, and the gear selector, it's really nice because we have buttons for going forward, backwards, putting the car in neutral, for pushing maybe or so on, and for park mode. Here we have a fast Qi charging wireless and some nice cool features here. We have heated seats, heated steering wheel, and a drive mode selector here. Let's start the car. In front of the driver we have a digital screen showing how much I'm doing, range, and so on, and it has a different theme depending on each driving mode I'm on. So in eco mode, which I'll be using a lot, it looks like this. We have 19 kilowatt hour average consumption, which is fine because it's winter. We have 11 degrees Celsius outside. Different from an old type Kona EV, it's this screen. We have a wide 10.25 inch screen here with the shortcut buttons moved from the sides here on the bottom. It looks really nice and it works really well. It's very smooth, responds very well every time. I said every time. I think it's something wrong with my finger. And I have plenty of information about battery, the charging capacity, if I can charge at full speed, and the range. So I can drive, here you can see how much I can drive with the range I have on. So I can go to the seaside, no problem, and all the way up to Sofia. We have lots of charging stations, so there's no problem with that. I still have AC on, and I should be fine for 265 kilometers. So let's drive. So now we're ready to drive. Let me start the engine and let me start it back on. So as you can see, I'm ready to roll as soon as this jingle comes in, and then if I want to go forward, I just press the D button. AC is on, and let's move on. As you can hear, actually, the car is very silent because, of course, we have an electric motor in the front there, and we only have front wheel drive configuration. There's no 4x4, but it should be fine for a car that will end up in city all day long. We are now driving at 60 kilometers per hour in city traffic, and the car has an average energy consumption of 15.2 kilowatt hour for 100 kilometers. Now it went down actually, and it's very silent. That's what I like. The car feels comfortable at city speeds. The suspension does the job really well, even though it has a quite firm setup, and you can feel that on certain roads, but for this kind of driving it's actually pretty okay. So it's really easy to drive because you only need to use one pedal for most of the time. It has a strong regen braking, which has a free modes, so we have like no regen at all. And then with this left pedal here I can switch to full regen power. So if I drive a little bit faster and I take my foot off the accelerator pedal, it will brake aggressively, and you can see there I can how much distance I save up in the battery. So if I use the regen for 50 meters at 80 kilometers per hour, I can gain up to, oh, come on. Let me do it again. So if I'm driving at 80 kilometers per hour and I want to slow at 50, I save about 250 meters, which is kind of cool because it shows you that, and it encourages you to drive carefully and read the traffic in front. We're now doing 80 kilometers per hour, and at this speed it's still silent. I don't hear too much wind noise, and even though it's a windy day, and not so much tire noise, even though we have winter tires. So the soundproofing, it's quite okay. The fuel consumption went up to 16.1 kilowatt hour for every 100 kilometers. We are driving the Luxury Plus version of this Kona, and we have 204 horsepower and 64 kilowatt hour battery. So now we have a third of the battery empty, and we can still do 260 kilometers. And yeah, I think I can do 300 kilometers with this amount left in the battery. It's a heavy car. It weighs at about 1700 kilograms. With drivers inside, me and Andre here, it should weigh up to 1800 kilograms. And you'll feel that in turns if you want to drive fast. But yeah, so let me slow up a bit. There's no traffic behind. I want to slow down to 40 kilometers per hour and then press the accelerator pedal to the maximum. Yep. The traction control comes in pretty heavy because the front wheels, we break the traction really easily, especially with winter tires. But if I put it in sport mode here, and let me do it again, 40 kilometers per hour. Ooh, I'm fighting the steering wheel a bit. So there's a lot of torque steer, and the traction control comes in immediately through software. For a car this size, Kona EV, it's quite expensive. So it can go up to 50,000 euros for a Luxury Plus version. And yeah, you can lower the price a bit with some subsidies from your local government. In Romania, we have 10,000 euros deducted from the price of the car So this car would come at around 39,000 and so on. But you can go for a highway version, which still has a lot of gear. You still get this beautiful 10.25 inch screen, and the same battery pack, same engine, so same power, same range and so on. And that can lower the price of the car to about 40-ish thousand euros. If you have some special offers from your dealer, you can lower the price a little bit more. It's still cheaper than a Model 3, but you don't have the same power and the same range. But if you ask me, this is the second best option to a Model 3 if you want to drive the car, especially at city speeds in city environment. But of course you can do some longer journeys with this car. It has a better range than Nissan Leaf, which has a similar price, especially for the 60 kilowatt hour version. But this one, it feels more efficient, and and it also looks a little bit better. I think it's a bit spacious also, and it's more comfortable. So yeah, these are my thoughts about the Hyundai Kona EV. I'm planning to do some longer trips with this car in the near future. And see you on the next one.